is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Palace Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment.
Show up here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Jones.
Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. I got Davey going. Good afternoon, JB and One Pride. Fred Peterson, good after day. It's a great day to be a Lion, One Pride. And Brent DeWitt with all the emojis and One Pride. 100%, guys. Yes, I'm wearing the reason why I think we win tonight. It's Penei Sewell, Decker, Zietler. Because technically, we only have one guy out, and it's Frank Ragnow. And the lineup that we're putting out is also pretty much the same one that won our only game when Frank Ragnow was out last year. So hopefully no one else goes down. Let's knock on wood for the O-line because we don't need that. Even though the bye week's coming up, and if we get nicked up, we're not in that bad a shape. But Uchenna Nwosu, the linebacker, was in limited practice, but he's out. Leonard Williams, out. Byron Murphy, out. Boye Mafe, out. Questionable with a tight hamstring is Jerome Baker, and we have seen guys that have hamstring injuries and questionable not play still, so we can't say anything. Laken Tomlinson is dealing with an ankle injury, and Farrell Brown, the tight end, has got an injury to his foot, as well as Derek Hall, outside linebacker, has a hip injury where he just returned to limited practice. And their backup, Jonathan Hankins, defensive tackle, is also limited and questionable. Tyler Lockett returned to full practice. Jake Bobo returned to full practice. Brady Russell, their other tight end. Kenneth Walker with a core oblique injury has still been limited at practice so far. So we don't know if he's playing. Rookie Kenny McIntosh returned to full practice. And Tyrell Dotson returned to full practice. So Anthony Bradford, starting guard, did not practice with a knee injury. DK Metcalf is back practicing. And Noah Fant is questionable as well. So, everybody complains about Marcus Davenport being gone. Matt Henry, you're absolutely right. Mondays are the greatest day when it's Victory Monday. Congratulations to your Bears on beating up on the Rams. I'm not going to make excuses for the Rams. They played their best 53 they had available, and we'll leave it at that. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but how this side looks a little swollen and everything. I'm dealing with an abscessed tooth. Ugh, second time in my life. And it's been in the last 4 years. 4 years ago, it was right here in the front. Right now, it's right here. So it is what it is. Let's talk about those games yesterday. The Packers, and they're going to blame their kicker in the missed 2 field goals. But you got to also remember one, he also missed, but it was a penalty on the play. So it got called back. There was a penalty on the defense, moved them closer. So they went for it and they did not get it. So while everything else is going on, the 21 points off of the first 3 interceptions, and the third one was the worst of them all. That is the biggest reason why the Packers lost to Minnesota. Minnesota came out, put their foot on their throats for an entire half, and didn't let up. The second half, they came out flat, playing a prevent defense, went run first on offense, weren't allowed, didn't really use Darnold as much until it got a little closer. And I get it, but Greg Johnson is the Packers' old kicker and hasn't missed a field goal. Yeah, Andy Dalton was only pressured on 15% of his dropbacks. That team did a 360 with them under center, and they gave the Bengals all they could. The Bengals do have a better roster. We just hadn't seen it play to that. So the Bengals got their first win. It is what it is. So the Bears handled what they did with the Rams handedly. We saw a couple of firsts for touchdowns for Caleb Williams. Congratulations, he had a decent game, and I'll leave it at that. The running game was the biggest reason why they won. Swift had 94 yards on the ground, 0 touchdowns. Roshan Johnson got a touchdown. Um, they established the run, which makes the pass easier. That's that's the moral of the story. We know this 100%. The Raiders established the run against the Browns, who actually had a decent run defense up until now. So, hey, kudos to them. They got a win over the Browns. Let me go through and see where I was right and where I was wrong. And I admit when I'm right and wrong so far. Always have, always will. I said the Giants would win. They didn't, but they did cover, so they won my bet. If Tennessee wins tonight, the Jaguars will be the only winless team. Yes. And there's a chance that might happen. I said the Rams would beat Chicago. I was wrong. I thought Matt Stafford could get it out fast enough despite not having Puka or Cup. He didn't. I predicted Green Bay to beat Minnesota. They didn't. I predicted Pittsburgh to beat Indianapolis. They didn't. Where I was right. The Denver did Broncos did beat the Jets in their house. And I said that was my lock pick of the week. Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. I took Philly. I was wrong. I think Philly has given up on Nick Sirianni. I was wrong about Carolina winning. I didn't think Cincinnati would win. I was right about Houston beating Jacksonville. I was right about Washington beating Carolina. I was right about San Francisco beating New England, Vegas beating Cleveland, Kansas City winning against the Chargers. I was wrong about Baltimore. They came out and handled business. So I was wrong a lot this week. Yeah, I know. I admit it. Hey, I didn't see the Bears winning. I'm not gonna lie. We have 28 people watching. Make sure you put those likes out there. It helps on whatever platform you're watching, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Those likes help immensely with the algorithm of these social media platforms. So make sure you like it while you're watching. Yeah, I admitted I was wrong about your bet. And your lock pick of the week was good. Mine was good too. I didn't lock the Rams in as winning. I locked Denver over New York Jets. That was my lock pick of the week. And for 3 quarters, it looked like I was stupid. I'm not gonna lie. But how disgusted was Aaron Rodgers at the end of that game when he threw that last pick to seal the deal? Where is Broski Bear? Bear down. He'll be here. He always is. He'll be in the chat. So tonight, I'm taking Tennessee over Miami with a first time starter. I just have the feeling Will Levis might not be as retarded this week as he has been. And I'm taking Detroit over Seattle. My score for the Detroit over Seattle game, I don't expect a double digit win. Kenneth Walker may play, he may not. It's a game time decision. They are leaning towards him playing, but I don't know. Even if he plays, our run defense is why I think we win that game. I just think Miami's a little dysfunctional right now, and Mike McDaniel's might be in over his head with what's going on there. Now, if Snoop can go back and be like he was when Lamar first went out, he'll be fine. But it's a new team, new scheme, new verbiage, new everything. Yeah, that's the biggest thing with the entire front offensive line playing backup or defensive line playing backups, and 3 of their 4 offensive starters are out on the O line. John Dorn. I think that's the biggest reason. If they do a game plan like they did against the Cardinals last week, they should win. Let me look because I don't know the details. I just know they signed him. I believe it is. Yep, it is a 3-year, $24 million contract. And Matt Henry, I get it. Same old Packers. Hey, last year they were 2-2, and everybody started to knock them down and everything else, and they came back and won 9 games and made the playoffs. So let's not count the Packers out. Let's not call it same old Packers. Because until it happens on the field, you don't know what's going to happen. Weren't they 3-6 through 9 weeks last year, if I remember right, and only lost 1 game going down the stretch after that? He deserved that one. Yeah, that's okay. I get it. Matt Henry, 100%. I agree. Um, and lo and behold, after the games played at 9 p.m., the division rankings updated. Number one, 4-0 with 1-0. You got any kickers? There is one on the practice squad. You poached one before. I think you shouldn't have let James Turner go. I think he just needed some time to develop as a rookie. I think that was your biggest mistake, John Dorn, because at Michigan, James Turner was very accurate, over 50 yards. I think he had one miss over 50 yards on 9 attempts last year in the national championship run. So, and granted, his long was 52, but still, he made 50, 51, and 52. The one he missed was 54. Uh, I think you'd have been better off because he was money inside of 40. He never missed a kick, and he made every extra point for Michigan. I told you guys when you cut him, I thought it was a mistake. Yep, Dorn's going to be trying out for Green Bay kicker. He might make a 37-yarder, better than Narwison. So yes, Brent DeWitt, the Bears did sign him to a 3-year contract. I just knew it was 8 million per year, and they almost got their money's worth out in one game. He didn't score a touchdown though. He did receiving, but not running. I agree, Brent DeWitt. I think Turner would have developed. I'd have much rather him been on our practice squad to begin with. If we'd have had Bates and Turner, I'm good. Good afternoon, Smoking Dad is in the building. Matt, I might be able to kick over 10 yards. You just don't know if it gets over the O line, right? If it was a soccer goal, you'd make it, Dorn. And us Michigan fans, we should be concerned with how we played the second half of that game versus Minnesota Golden Gophers. Granted, we got the win, and a win is a win, but that was ugly. I don't understand the second half play calling for the University of Michigan. Maybe if I'm drunk. Oh, hey, good thing it's 1 o'clock games. You should fit right in. Trace Hacker in the chat. Hey, Jeremy, good to see you, Trace. Orgy for Heisman, not with what I saw. The only redeeming value we have tonight for the Lions, we are 2-0, 2-1 in conference play because we played all conference opponents. So even if we lose and go 2-2, we have two wins in conference. We don't. What time is kickoff? Kickoff, I believe, is 8:05 tonight. Yeah, 8:05. You going to the watch party for the Dallas game, GB? JB? I didn't know there was going to be a watch party. Um, but where's it at? I literally have been out of the loop. I've been focused. Did you watch the Alabama Georgia game? Yes, for 3 quarters, Alabama jail sex the prison uniforms of the Georgia Bulldogs. They came back late and made it a game, but it was never within reach. Respect to the Golden Gophers. Michigan's coaching has me yelling at the TV. You 100% Brent DeWitt. It was all. I was doing the GameCast thing because I was bandits in the house. What up, though? But those guys out for the Eagles defense. That's the main reason why I think the Lions win tonight. Yes, Ford Field ticket. Ooh, I'll cover that. Pick me up one. Pick me up one. I'll cash app you this week, Trace. We can ride down together again like last time. I don't care if the seats are together or whatever. I'm happy being with a bunch of Lions fans. Hats off to PJ Fleck and the Gophers. Yep, 100%. They made send me an invite. Okay, Bandit. Give me a second. I'm sending it Gmail. There you go, Bandit. But the Seahawks were already missing their leading sack leader from last year. Um, he's been on the IR and he's not due back till next week at the earliest. And with the injury to Frank Ragnow and him being out, this bye week might be a godsend to get him healthy because it's a grade 1 partial tear of the pec. I know it says invent, not invite. I know what he meant. I read typos well because I do them enough. You don't know how long it takes me longer to proofread my reviews and game previews and reviews of the Lions games I write about. It takes me longer to proofread them than it does to write them because I just type it out and then I go through and do it. We have 45 people watching. Thank you. Like I said, make sure you like. If you like what you see, share it. All right. And we have the one, the only Bandit in the house.
Yeah, I did spell that wrong, didn't I?
Yes, sir. I got you. You
What
heard
up,
what I
though?
said. You heard what I said, though, right?
Yeah.
I'm used to reading typos. I get it.
What up, though?
What up, though?
What up? What up, though? What Pride Nation was good.
So I am going to do a game cast during the game tonight. I'm going to get the game cast up on the stream, no sound, and be able to do commentary with Dan Leonard because he's a Giants fan. You know how he can be a hater at times. So it's going to be a comedic gold type of thing.
You can do it as long as you don't got the sound on it.
No, but I don't want to show the game.
Oh,
I've had issues with showing NFL videos before. I'm just not doing it.
yeah, you know how they copyright everything.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we're gonna eat sea chicken tonight.
All right. So Trace Hacker and I are going to the watch party at Ford Field next in week 6.
That's what's up.
Hey, tickets are $25. Get you one, Neil. Meet us there.
For a watch party?
Yeah, at Ford Field.
All right, that's $25 for the ticket. That's $50 for the toll. That's about $75 worth of gas, and then a 3-hour drive there and a 3-hour drive back. I might be able to make it.
Yeah, see, you got this. By the way, when are you paying up that bet?
I got you today.
I gotta
You must,
do it live because I never talk to you anymore, brother.
you must know my money order on my card today. That's crazy. This man be hacking my bank account.
I had no clue.
Michigan almost didn't get past.
Oh, I know. I called it out. The play calling in the second half was abysmal.
That onside kick was good too. The refs helped y'all out. I ain't gonna lie.
Woo. Hey, let's not talk about refs helping teams out, because people are going to start comparing the Lions to the Chiefs the way they say the refs are helping us out.
Hey, we get them Super Bowls. I don't compare how bad they compares to the Chiefs.
I got it. I know. I just
You
had
know,
Matt Henry says or Daniel Orgy for Heisman. What? Heisman of the community colleges? Because he looks like a community college football quarterback that can run to me. I'm saying he hasn't proven anything to me. Warren, he sucks big donkey nuts. I call it like I see it.
I can't wait.
And that Tuttle that's been hurt off and on the past 4 years, he Pacheco. Yeah, hey, all I got to say is Rice made his second driving offense almost look worse than his first in the offseason. How
That's
about
bad
that was
news for KC.
funny. That
That's
was
bad
funny.
news for KC.
Yeah, out for the season for Rasheed Rice. Pacheco's out, and they're winning still. Granted, they've had a lot of help in the zebra category. That's why I said what I said. Joel Davis enters the chat. Hello there.
Word around town is he looking to go shop for B Hop.
Oh yeah. I just I just had to put that out there, because it's been a minute since that bet happened.
I don't think Devontae Adams gonna go to KC because I think he like the new coach.
Yeah, he wants to stay with the coach. He does want the coach to put AOC in over Gardner Minshew because it's like Minshew misses him a lot. He gets credited with some drops where he's trying to make a miraculous play, and I get it. We've all said it before. If it hits you in the hands, you're supposed to catch it.
Gotta
But
catch it.
But when it's at the tip of your fingertips, reaching out as high as you possibly can, I get it. But Devontae Adams became AOC's security blanket last year. When everybody else was dropping the passes, he just threw it to him, and they were winning games. You gotta remember they won 5 of their 7 games at the end of the season last year.
That's why Pierce kept his job.
It is why Pierce kept his job. Navy buddy was saying something about OBJ. He get in trouble. No, he's hurt as always.
Yeah, he'll be back like week 8 or something like that.
Week 8 or maybe week 12 because it happened in the season. I just don't remember what week it happened.
He need a quarterback, not OBJ. He need a quarterback in Miami bad.
So with Boye Mafe, Leonard Williams, and Byron Murphy the second out for the Seahawks, I think it's going to be a long day for the Seahawks defense.
They had a lot of people hurt last year. The offensive line was hurt and stuff last year too.
No, their offensive line is hurt this year. They got one guy that's questionable. That's their starting offensive guard. Both of their starting offensive tackles are out. Their backup right tackle is hurt, so they're on their third string right tackle. Guess where I see Aiden Hutchinson lining up?
In the backfield.
Pretty much.
Well, we said that last year though too, because they remember their offensive line was
No, the only
banged
guy
up last year.
last year was Evan Brown, and we expected more from the interior to help Hutch get open.
And it was bad.
And it was bad. But at the same time, this isn't a Pete Carroll ran team. I understand they're 3-0, but
They ain't played nobody.
Right. That's what I was getting at. They played a no Tua with Skylar Thompson, who got a concussion early in the third quarter, and Tyler Huntley, who hadn't taken a snap with the first team offense. They beat them soundly, and I get it. They beat the Broncos in week 1, and they had to come back and beat the Patriots in overtime. Yep, blue and silver, I agree. It's run, 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 throw deep to JMO, crossing routes to St. Brown, crossing routes to Laporta, who's playing. Thank God we dodged that bullet that it was a low ankle sprain, grade 1, and nothing major with Laporta. I almost agree that we could have did without him playing this week because of the depth we have with Parker Hess and Zylstra and Brock Wright. Because hey, when TJ Hawkinson left, Wright and Zylstra was our red zone offense.
But yeah, he's young. He bounced back from injury quicker than
Right. That's exactly what it is. and he was a full participant on Saturday, so we're good.
I think blue and silver is my boy Blue. That's my boy Blue. Say what's up in the chat.
Yeah. Uh, Matt
Bear
Henry says
down.
they're down. Yeah, the Bears took care of the Rams. I understand the Rams had a lot of starters out, but guess what? You still got to play the best 53 on the field and play your best football, and the Rams did not.
You gotta play who on your schedule, banged
Yep.
up or not.
And was it just me, or did Jordan Love never look comfortable planting that left leg when he was throwing? In the Packers game, he never looked comfortable. Ooh, Hargrave and Robinson, the linebacker, both season ending for the 49ers.
I heard
Hey,
CJ McCaffrey was out for a year.
hey, Blue and Silver says, "What up, Neil, aka the Bandit?"
What up, though?
I see another possible 200-yard rushing game out of Monty and Gibbs combined. I don't know who gets more, but that's what I see getting ready to happen. They also have a linebacker that's questionable in a game time decision. Kenneth Walker is still considered a game time decision for what I just saw. They have a couple wide receivers that are game time decisions because they had hammy tightness throughout the week. So, and I'm not wishing for any of those guys to be out because I don't want to hear the excuses.
I'm the opposite. I wish they all be out. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
I mean, but there's like 12 guys that are questionable to doubtful in this game for the Seattle Seahawks. The only guy that it got moved down to doubtful in the last 48 hours was Brian Branch, who's dealing with an illness. It could be COVID. He didn't even travel with the team.
Wow.
So prayers up for him. I hope it's not COVID. He's going in for testing. It's not confirmed COVID yet. Smoking Bandit, hell yeah! I had to wear the Sewell jersey though because I'm going to really get into details about this O line that we got going in. Last year when Frank Ragnow was out, Glasgow at center, Awasika at the guard position, at right guard backing up. Jonah Jackson came back to play that game. Decker and Sewell. So we had four starters that played, just one was out of position. We won that game with that lineup. And I think it's going to be the same thing this time because when they're doing a bunch of backups at the defensive line position, you don't know what to expect out of that D line yet. And I expect one of our top ranked O lines in the NFL to do their job. Do you disagree with that statement, Neil?
I mean, they basically using the quarterback at the lineman position. I mean, losing Frank is kind of big though. So like,
Oh yeah, it is. But I'd rather him be out this game than be out versus Dallas. Because the only thing Dallas has good for starters right now, because Lawrence is out for a few weeks, Parsons is out for 3 to 6 weeks. All they got is their defensive tackles. So I understand it. Rest Ragnow, let him fully heal and be able to take care of business when we go to Dallas.
yeah, that's a big guy. We need that.
Yeah, and this was a circle game too. But and the coach says we're practicing like everybody that's on their injury list is starting because we don't know for sure because there's a lot of questionables and all of that. So we practice as though we were going up against their starters. So that means our number one offense didn't really practice against the practice squad. They practice against their starters. And there's a reason for that. They want to be ready just in case one of those guys they go, hey, he's playing. But yeah, Detroit has the bye week in week 5 this year. I hate it and I like it at the same time because of the Ragnow injury.
Yeah, I hated it. I hated it at the beginning of the season, but now it's like with the injury you got, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a blessing in disguise. So
Yeah, for now it's a blessing in disguise. Now, if we continue to have players fall off slowly but surely throughout the season, we're really going to hate it. That's what it all boils down to. But right now, with some of the guys we have out injured, I kind of like it. Rake a straw is a game time decision. Uh, the only guys really out are Iffy. He got put on the IR, so he's going to be out sometime.
They never we really reported what was going on with Iffy or Rakestraw.
Iffy had an
Like,
If
damn,
he had an
Rakestraw.
ankle injury, Rakestraw has been dealing with a hamstring issue, and they're playing that with kid gloves because if you play while you're on an injured hamstring, it could lead to an MCL or ACL tear. So I get it with it. Yeah, the 1 minute lag with comments is crazy, but they do that so we can monitor the chat and be able to block some comments before they show up on the stream. Because when people get ignorant and say mean and hurtful things, whether about personal attacks or a sponsor, you can stop them ahead of time. And that makes sense, really, because, and I don't care if you guys trash talk teams, because trash talking teams is what we do in the NFC North, the huddle where we go live into. I get it. But if you're trash talking a person for a personal attack, or if you're trash talking a sponsor, now picking on the picture because of the van and what you guys say that's JB's van in front of the shop, I think it's funny. I go along with it. I said, yeah, but I don't put out the free candy sign. I put out the free wine sign to attract the cougars. Come on, that's good, and you know it.
Man, I'm sorry you even had to go through that, man. That's kind of crazy. People
No, that's
just
okay.
crazy, man.
I had one guy picking on me for my teeth. And I stopped that right away. I think you were on that show last year when that happened, right? Oh, you weren't? Okay. He sat there and he goes, "Man, you're on TV with bad teeth." I was like, "Yep, and if you got $14,000 to pay for it, I'll fix them." There. That ended that comment immediately. He never said another word about my teeth. I'll redirect it to football when they personally attack me because I don't care. I have thick skin. I grew up in a generation where you mouthed off too much, you got punched.
I put it like this: they talk bad about Jesus Christ, so you know they're gonna talk bad about you. So
Right.
I don't
You
care.
and I'm not Jesus.
I
Nor will
wish I
I
could
ever
turn water into wine. Give me a go. Give me a go. For real.
Well, Tyler Lockett is questionable in a game time decision with hamstring tightness. DK Metcalf, he has something going on, and he's a game time decision. And I'm not saying they're going to be out. I'm just saying all these game time decisions, we're not going to know till about what 6:30. It's an hour and a half before game time. Who's
Yeah.
actually out, and we'll see the actual list for the Lions. But I'm pretty
Ain't
sure
the game at 8:30 today?
8 o'clock game.
Oh, yeah.
8 o'clock.
We might not get the injury report till like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 6:30, 7 o'clock is what I'm thinking is when you'll get the injury report. It's usually an hour and a half. It's a little of both with Philly. I think it's coaching. I think the players are giving up because even if you look what Philly has on their roster, they're still one of the most talented teams on paper in the NFL, and they're just not putting it together. But at this point, you can say that Baker Mayfield is the Eagles' daddy. He housed them both times he played them. I'm not taken away from the great play of Baker Mayfield because the Eagles played like shit. Do you agree with that statement, Neil?
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Okay, no problem. But the puppers is going nuts, which means somebody just dropped off a package and rang the doorbell. I keep the door shut so I don't have to hear it all, but I can't stop the echoes. Who do you guys got tonight? Like I said, I think Tennessee might pull this out versus Miami, just because I don't trust what's going on in Miami. Uh, but
My bad. Wifey was calling for work.
hey, that happens. Life gets in the way of fun stuff every now and then.
Yes, sir. Now, what was you asking me?
Ah, God, I was talking about God, I forget now.
Wait, I got the Lions winning this game, man. I don't think it's gonna be in dominating fashion. I think it's gonna be a real close game. I got it 28-21. I think Golf gonna finally get in connection with this offense. We gotta get that going, man. I like the little hook and ladder play last week. You feel me? I think they tried that when we played Tampa Bay, but with Reynolds, but I think it came up short. He was gonna
Hey,
do that.
you
I
see what
pointed
they
that out.
nicknamed that play for Amon-Ra and Gibbs? What they call it?
What they call it?
Shake and bake, just like Talladega Nights.
Tampa Bay.
You hear what I
Now
said?
they
They
named it
just like
Tampa Bay.
Talladega Nights. They named that play Shake and Bake.
I'll be right back.
We're gonna shake and bake. Yep, I think that's the way it's gonna break down. Man, it's so great having 50 people watching a daytime show. There you go. I'm not used to those type of numbers till prime time, which means we must be getting a little better with our content, and I appreciate every one of you. Yes, Ralph, I get it. It was a disappointing loss for the Steelers. I had them winning, but Joe Flacid popped his Viagra, came off the bench when AR-15 got hurt, and they looked like a different team. Um, 5-2 in his last 7 starts, or 7 times being in as the quarterback. He's 7-2. So my score prediction, I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think we're going to win a close one. If we win, I think it's 24-21, and if we lose, it's 31-28. I just How about the Flacco Wackos? Yeah, they're getting crazy about him, but it's true. He comes in and wins. And TJ Watt did nothing. Every time TJ Watt did something, there was a penalty to negate it. So there was a lot of stupid decisions by players and the coaching. Justin Fields, QB1 in fantasy. I can't wait to see the game tonight. And we will be doing the live game cast. And I could care less if this swells up to the size of a softball. They pulled it off beautifully. Yes, they did. But now teams will be looking for it. So we might be running it in a different fashion. You know how Ben Johnson will run the same look with different players. So could we see Baki pull off something like that as the sweeper coming around? That would be different. Or Monty. I think they used it at the perfect time with Gibbs, and that defense didn't know what hit him because it was like the last guy finally tried to tackle Gibbs on that play last week in that hook and ladder play.
I'm expecting big things from Gibbs and Monty, man.
Yeah,
Big things. Man.
like I said, I think 200 yards, probably 2 touchdowns. That's what I think is going to happen this game.
200 yards rushing.
Yep, between the two of them,
I can see
total.
200 yards all purpose of
No,
receiving in.
no, I'm talking just like last week. We had almost 200 yards on the ground last week. We had 199. We needed one more yard. Yeah, I saw that too, Ralph. But at the same time, when penalties are called wrong the other way, and then penalties are not called, that happens every game. I hate it. And there are fans out there that'll say, "Why are you crying about penalties?" You know what? It is what it is. There's more.
It's when the penalties cause of like results of the game. You feel me? Like when they change the results of the game, that's when it's big. You feel me?
Like I
Hey, and who would throw the thought Justin Field has Pittsburgh Steelers at 3-1?
Hey, as soon as I said, I've been picking Pittsburgh every week as soon as they had Field starting because I wasn't going to pick them if Russell Wilson was. I said that to start the season because I think Tomlin does a better job of getting the most out of his quarterbacks.
I like Fields in Pittsburgh because we ain't got to play him twice a year like that.
Amen.
Amen to that for real. Plus, he a fellow Ohio State quarterback, so I wish him the best, man. I didn't wish him, what I mean, hard root against him when he playing for Chicago, but I mean, now I can root for the man in Pittsburgh.
So, how are you doing on picking against all the games this year? Have you been doing that on your show?
Yeah, we doing we got the NFL weekly show. We do our weekly predictions, and I'm doing fairly good, man.
Are you over 50% like me?
Yeah, I'm over 50%. The Vikings is really surprised me. I really didn't see that coming, man. Like
I said all off season, the
Sam Darnold?
Vikings are a legit defense. If Sam Darnold doesn't look like the ghost seeing Sam Darnold, they'll be a good team. But we hadn't seen that yet, so we didn't know what to expect out of Sam Darnold. I know. Number 1 quarterback in the league right now.
And that first round draft pick making JJ look real bad. Like
JJ didn't get a chance to play because he's
injured. He might not start a game from them. Period. He might be great.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think
if Sam Darnold gets them to the playoffs, they resign Sam Darnold, and he ain't gonna start. Period. Period.
Sarah has said this was the plan the entire time.
Mark it down. I said it first.
I bet you're wrong.
Okay. If Sam Darnold get Minnesota to the playoffs, you think they start JJ McCarthy next year?
Yep. Because they were wanting to start JJ this year through his 2 starts before they found out he was injured.
Because they didn't believe in Sam Darnold.
No, because he was playing better.
So if Sam Darnold gets them to the playoffs, they're not putting in JJ McCarthy.
Because they don't want to spend the starter money. They don't have a lot of money next year, and they need other pieces to complete the team.
I hope Sam Darnold will continue to do good in Minnesota because I don't want to see JJ McCarthy at all.
Yeah, because you got tired of him whooping up on your Ohio State.
Oh my God, man! Yeah, mere quarterback too, man. You know how I understand. That's bad. How we lost him 2 years in a row. Man.
I had to go. I had 2
years in a row, man. We lost him, man.
I know.
Hurt my soul, man.
Yeah, the only one you could beat was the one that went to Iowa, Cade McNamara.
Yeah, our quarterback was trash too. The one that he at Illinois right now, I have to believe. He was trash, man, last year. The only reason why he was starting quarterback because he was a high school quarterback for what's the guy name in Arizona right now?
Oh,
what's it? Huh?
Josh Gannon?
Harrison. He was Harrison's quarterback in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
Guys did good.
Yeah.
It's not good enough.
Yeah. This year, though, you already know what's happening this year.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah, you already know. You had y'all 2 years.
I ain't running that back. I'm not as confident this year.
I love y'all, Michigan. I love Michigan, not Michigan football, man. Come on now, like.
Hey, you asked me this offseason, what did I think about Michigan before they ever played it down? I said, we'll be lucky to be an 8-win team, and I'm looking right.
People was talking. Y'all was going back to back. Y'all was making the playoffs.
I didn't say that. We lost.
Rich, it ain't happening, Rich.
Grace through faith. Good day, everyone. Good to see you today. Welcome to the show. 520 subs. I'm getting there.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I got a question. What worries you about tonight's game?
It's Seattle. Not gonna lie, it's Seattle.
You see on X they put a video up of the greatest plays in Ford Field. That's so disrespectful, bro.
He shot. the Lions defense under Matt Patricia in that first year with Dan Campbell, because our defense was so bad, we made Rashad Penny look like Marshawn Lynch. The difference is we're tackling way better than we have in any year with Dan Campbell as the head coach.
How you doing, Tracy?
Yeah, Trace is a good fan. Yep, Joseph Oston was number 502 subscriber.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You trying to catch up? We trying to catch up over on Trade Fan Report.
I shout you guys out when I'm on there. You know, you see me in the chat,
Yeah,
but
for
I
sure.
can always watch because sometimes I'm live at the same around the time you are.
Yes, sir.
It is what it is. I love
Yeah,
the fact that I'm on TV now. I got a face for radio, and I'm like broadcasting in the Roku and Fire Stick app.
Yeah, I wish we could have done it. It just didn't work with our schedule. We couldn't do Saturday, so we do on Monday, do Friday, and Sunday. So
Hey, good deal. Glad to see you here.
even with Pete Carroll, man, who would have thought Sierra without Pete Carroll, it would be 3-0 right now. But like you
Hey,
said,
look who they played. Michigan has a lot of NFL talent, mostly on defense, but an inferior coaching staff, and I agree. But when come join the Pistons, Kyrie. Yeah, the guy that thinks you look like Kyrie Irving.
that would make y'all a playoff team though. If y'all just added Kyrie, y'all still missing another piece. I think y'all missing a big.
We're missing a big.
You're missing a big.
We're missing a two-way player at the big position. Is what we're missing. Now, if we could have got Kevin Durant, I don't care how old he is. That would have made it be a legit roster. I think that's the piece that's missing is somebody like that, maybe younger. You agree with that assessment?
I don't know about Kevin Durant.
I'm talking about Kevin Durant, the way he played with Golden State when they won. That type of player.
Well, can you name a favorite player that play like that right now? Like Kevin Durant play during Golden State?
Who's that big in for Phoenix that they got for the Suns? The ones that the power forward, I think it is. The one that takes over games every now and then.
I don't know. I really don't watch a lot of Phoenix games.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. Yeah.
I'm a Boston Celtics fan. You feel me? Celtics, baby.
The Knicks made some moves. They got Karl Anthony Towns. That was surprising.
That's big.
But that means Minnesota has Detroit's pick next year. That's the pick they traded away because we moved up.
That's a move. And that would have took them to being in the playoffs. You got to count Anthony Towns down there.
Right. He's that younger player, but he also misses a lot of time due to injury, just like Joel Embiid. All them bigs that everybody loves, they end up in the MVP race. What have they done in the postseason?
True.
So at the same time, I want somebody younger and fresh out without the injury history, is what I'm saying. I think we should have picked Zach Edey last year. Coming out of college, Zach Edey or Klingman, either one, I think that would have been a better pick. We had Brandon Ingram having a retirement permit for a work brother. Have a blessed day, everyone. Good to see you, but it is that time where I got to do my sponsors. You choose. Do we start from the top of the division rankings or the bottom, Neil?
Hey, we got to start from the top because Minnesota up there right now, man.
All right. I got to go to the echo voice just for Brent. In first place, Get Skullfucked. Recently moved up to third place, Fuck the Bears. And sitting in the basement, FTD. Fuck the Packers.
What about the standings right now that surprised you the most?
Bears
Is
and
that the
Packers being
Vikings are number one, or
it's a combination of Vikings being at the top and FTP at the bottom. Did anybody see this coming through 4 weeks?
Not at all. You think that injury is still lingering, Jordan Love?
Yeah, I saw it. I physically saw it, especially through that first quarter. Every time he went to plant that leg and through, you could see him wince in pain. Even the announcers called it out. Now the jazz music. And last but not least, I do have to give homage to my paying sponsor. And yes, that is my free wine van in the parking lot.
I'm done, man.
It is Brandon Service right there at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, 602 West Atherton Road. Where? In Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Stop in and check us out. Used tires, $40 and up. If you need new tires, please call 810-233-8230. Talk to George, Red, or myself. We will get you your quote. We will have them delivered within 1 to 2 business days. Mention this ad if you're buying a set of tires and you get $10 off, unless your name is Jace Burgess.
I need a new tire.
Bad?
week with the car, man. Somebody broke into my car. Somebody bagged into my car. Just had a bad week with the car, man.
Man, I hate when that happens. It's kind of like when I paid off my car. I switched to PLPD because I didn't have to worry about if I got hit anymore. I was like, I didn't know anything. The day before my birthday, 6 days after I paid it off, a deer jumps in front of me. 2 weeks after working at Brandon Service, they have the air hose on the side of the building. I'm backing out. This guy backs away from the air hose. He hits me and says, "You owe me a tire because you work here." And I sit there and goes, "Well, let me see your insurance so I can make this claim to get my fender fixed." He goes like, "Oh, that's all right. I'm out."
He'd be all right. We get a new door though.
You know what that means? He didn't have insurance and he knew he
Nope.
backed into me and he was wrong.
Driving on the road like I am, but I'm getting my door fixed though.
Well, I left it like that because you know what? It's a 2008. I don't care about the car looks if it runs and drives straight.
Yeah, I'm all about the looks, baby. You gotta be looking good. You look good, you feel good, you play good. You feel me? So hey,
Corey Patterson, yeah, love was definitely hurt, and I love the jazz music. I always seem to move a little when you play it. It's got a good beat. I just wish that track was longer. Dan Leonard, my co-host, hates the music. He goes, "I want somebody to take that soundboard from you." Today, I'm supposed to get my new one that has even more sound.
oh Lord,
I'm excited. I get to do more stuff.
I had to order. Well, I got one.
And then, of course, for our Hispanic watchers, and I
got one.
haven't
Just
seen
wanna use
Buddy
it.
Quintito for a minute. This is for him. It's so old, Dan Leonard says, but people love it.
Gotta get the people what they want.
But thank you for watching, everybody. It's been a great show. Thank you, Neil, for joining me. Dan Leonard, see you tonight for the game cast.
You know, every time I see you on YouTube and pop up, I'm going to tell you send me an invite. So I'm not in my
Okay.
lines
So
here. I'm in
why
my
don't
high school.
you just say it? Don't even say hi. Just say, "Send me the invite."
I got you. I'm gonna spell it right next time
I
too.
don't mind talking with you, but every now and then there's a time when I got to do it alone. Like my game review, I kind of do that one alone on Tuesdays.
Yeah, man.
Angela said, "Turn that shit off, JB. No one wants to hear your today." I love it, but
Man.
it was actually requested by a viewer, Dan, and I make the viewers happy.
You do the pregame show?
I did the pregame show on Friday. I actually had EZ on the show from Woodward Sports.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So that was a great show. Easy was wonderful. I had Easy, I had Bistrilla the Thrilla, and myself. That's all that showed up. I don't know why.
He's still in the thriller. What up, though?
Yeah, he's a badass man. I like him.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, I'm worried for Buddy still. Been a few weeks now, and I haven't seen him anywhere. Yeah, I agree, Moonscar. Thank you all for viewing. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody.